Good evening, this is Cam, here to drive you crazy. And this is going to be a video on me reacting to, once again, the Hungry Syrian Wanderer. And it's actually a really good video that he had posted today, actually just a couple of hours ago. So I wanted to get my initial reaction to this, just to say what he had did in this video. And again, I'll leave the link in the description for you guys to actually go and watch the original video yourselves. But what he had done was he was just driving down the road and noticed a family that was obviously kind of a struggling looking family. They didn't seem to have a lot available on themselves, and he saw that on the backside of their it looked like a tricycle, but it was basically kind of like more like just a bike that had like what the tricycles have, like the little framing and everything. But on the backside of that tricycle was a dog, and he just noticed that the dog was on there. And as he is a very well known in the Philippines for taking care of animals, finding and sheltering, abandoned dogs or dogs on the road, and trying to make sure that they can be provided a good set of meals, coverage, not make them feel like they have to live out on the streets. He just took a notice to that dog and didn't want to say that the dog was in anywhat of a harm's way, but just wanted to go out of his way to say he wanted to help that family and did something as a social experiment for them. So essentially he drove by them and asked them, "Can you pull over to the next gas station?" They go to the gas station. They just talking to each other, figuring out, what's their situation, saying that there's only a little bit of stuff that they have available and what they're trying to sell for, like their plastics or anything that they can collect to be able to, gain the amount of money that was necessary for them to, get by. And a lot of the times, from what they had said, was there was not even about 200 pesos worth of value that they got each day. And to kind of give a perspective to some people who may not understand the difference in the currency, it's about 48 pesos right now to the one United States dollar. So give or take, they're only making just barely over $4 a day, and that's supposed to be able to feed the dad, the mom, the baby boy that they had, which was I would say he looked like about 3 years old, I believe he said he was. And then they just had a brand new newborn baby, which was only about 1 month old, and also one of the brothers as well. So there was all these people that was just collectively in this one little tricycle and bicycle. And they were saying that it's a struggle just for the fact that they were trying to get about 200 pesos per day as well for the dog. So what Basel is, what the guy's name is, in case if I just decide to use Basel goes up to him to say, what is it that you would like for me to do to help you guys out, because what I'm willing to do is actually buy the dog from you. And they kind of looked with a little bit of a laughing kind of matter to say, I mean, it's surprising that you even would want to buy the dog from us, but yes, I mean, unfortunately, it's the son who's the one who's actually the owner of this dog. He's been taking care of this dog since he was less than 1 year old. So this little baby boy has this dog for 2 years plus now, and it was almost going to be his birthday actually, so he will be turning I believe he will be turning 4 when it comes around to that time. But he's been with this dog for all of his life basically. It's his best friend. He always is the one taking care of him, always making sure that the dog is good, being fed properly. And honestly, it sounded like he was going to be making sure that the dog was taken care of so much better than what the actual family may have been taking care of. But all in all, he decides to go out of his way and say, I will want to buy your dog from you. And I saw him on the back of your tricycle, and he just decided to say, how much would you be willing to sell me your dog for? And of course they asked the younger boy, how much would you be wanting to sell him for? And the kid just said, I don't want you to have my dog, you know, which is an initial obvious reaction that you would have for, you know, your best friend, your own pet dog that you don't want to really get rid of. So to me, I was kind of like, let's see where this goes, but you'll see it in the title exactly what was offered, because essentially they eventually asked him, how much were you willing to pay for the dog? And out of nowhere in their mindset did they think that he was going to say 1 million pesos. They kind of just laughed it off, acting like that is just a ridiculous amount of money to be paying for a dog. And he's like, no, seriously, I have that money in the car right now that I'd be more than willing to buy this dog from you. And to give the comparison, and I did have to do a little bit of math for that, but that is about $20,833 that they were willing to give to this family. And that is enough money to really just keep you at bay for a year plus. Like it to someone like me, you know, I've been here for, you know, the majority of like 6 to 7 months now, and about, give or take, and my spendings have been a little bad on some points, but I've been here for this amount of time, and $5,000 United States dollars has gotten me quite a long way, and still knowing that I'm still pretty much comfortable with the amount of money that I have, the amount of money that I've been having to use for obviously my daughter and for my immigration works and just my daily, you know, spendings for food and all that. So $20,000 for a struggling family is an overwhelming amount of money. But just like how Basel is, he goes out of his way to help them do that. But of course, even with that amount of money had been offered, the boy continuously just said, no, this is my dog. So to fully wrap this up, he decided to say, because you were so diligent in wanting to make sure that you have your dog and make sure that, you know, you obviously may be struggling for the time period that you are, I am still willing to go out of my way to help give you a good amount of money to make sure that you can get some payments for your rentings, for family needs, food, medicine, you know, medical needs for the younger 1-month baby. And then eventually said, here, I'll come back in a couple of hours to get you something more. And he goes back to his house and just packs a giant box of just the baby essentials, vitamins, a lot of rice to make sure that they're going to be well fed, some hand sanitizer, some masks, food for the dog, because again, he holds a lot of, you know, shelters for the pets and animals. So he has all this stuff that he just decides to box up, give it to this family, and this family is just so overwhelmed and so generous to everything that they had just received. And that is the kind of guy that Basel is. And I can't imagine just saying, like, it is such a blessing to know that Basel is such a great human being, and what he will always continuously do, even if it's in joking matter, but he will always do it for the betterment of humanity and for the people, no matter what. So I wanted to just thank you for watching this simple video of mine. Please leave a like if you did like my reaction to it. Leave a comment if you want to share anything. And of course, hit that subscribe button for more content. My name is Cab, and I'm here drive you crazy.